Yeah, just think. Chucky's gonna be a bro.
A 7-year-long gap. No Chucky, no Stabby, no Campy, no nothing. Key. It was the late 90s, and the slasher films were getting worn out. Jason made his disastrous return to the big screen with Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy made his great comeback with New Nightmare, and Chucky... well, Chucky went to military school. After that, where could they possibly take the series next? Well, thanks to movies like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, who were smart enough to make fun of the horror genre and parody it, creator Don Mancini came up with an idea to make a self-referential parody movie of Chucky, throwing away the Andy Barclay character, throwing away the horror category, throwing away the Child's Play title, and going in a more humorous direction than before. The last two movies had some humor in it, but not as much as the fourth installment to the series, which came 7 years later, Bride of Chucky. What an awesome title, parodying all of those classic Bride of films. You even see Bride of Frankenstein playing on the TV. This started the trend of every installment being called Of Chucky. And to get things started with how bizarre this movie is, you see Freddy Krueger's glove, Jason Voorhees' hockey mask, Leatherface's chainsaw, and Michael Myers' mask, proving that all of these characters exist in the same universe. I'm surprised they got away with this due to all the serious legal rights issues the companies have with their ownership on certain characters. This opening is also a little nod to the scrapped ending to the first movie where Chucky's hand swats away a fly. Still glad they didn't go with that ending. Now, as far as continuity goes, I don't know exactly where this film is supposed to pick up after, because in Child's Play 3, Chucky falls into a giant fan and blows up. And you can clearly see that nothing remained in Chucky after that. His body was completely gone and chopped up. Now it's back and just banged up a little. None of the events from 2 or 3 are mentioned. Not even the name Andy Barclay is said in the film. I guess they took a book out of Halloween 4, which brought back Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis after they blew the fuck up in a hospital. But continuity aside, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. The direction they took was a smart move, especially since the horror biz was wearing out at the time. It's got to be one of my favorite Chucky films. I love the look they gave Chucky. It's my second favorite look of his behind the first. Now he's covered in stitches, his clothes are all messed up, and so is his orange hair. Not only that, but they make him the main star in the movie. He has more screen time than any of the previous 3 movies, and he's more funny and entertaining than ever before. This is the reason a lot of people love this movie. Chucky even references real life, like the radio always playing garbage. He metafictions his own movies. He makes a little nod to Pinhead after stabbing a sheriff multiple times, proving that he's in the same universe too. He doesn't know who the fuck Martha Stewart is. And in the AMC Fear Fest version of the movie, they have a terrible dub that says, and I quote, "Hell." Yeah, not joking. That's why I stopped watching AMC Fear Fest. Sorry guys. But anyway, he even has sex with another doll, which is just mind-boggling. Chucky could be all of our friends. Now, as for the Bride of Chucky, well, that goes to Jennifer Tilly, who would be in all the installments throughout. She was apparently Charles Lee Ray's lover during his killing spree. She was never mentioned before, but hey, she rebuilt our boy Chucky, so she's cool with me. She's also a psycho who murders people too, and has Chucky tattooed on her breasts. I love the scene when Chucky kills her in the bathtub because she treated him like a slave for not asking her to marry him. Chucky is pissed and comes at her with a knife, electrocuting her to death. There's sparks, there's bubbles, a great shot of Chucky. It's one of my favorite moments in the franchise. Even though this movie is entertaining and fun, there are still some ridiculous moments, like when Tiffany tries to resurrect Chucky. Being so used to Chucky doing the chant, hearing Tiffany say it is laughable and bad. Even Brad Dourif and Don Mancini laughed at this during the commentary. And my biggest complaint in the whole movie comes after Chucky transfers Tiffany into the bride's doll, and they discuss what they should do next. By the way, I love how Chucky turns Tiffany into a doll only to immediately have a plan to go into another human's body, as if saying her old self was ugly and he would never tap that. Oh, that's Chucky. Anyway, as they're discussing the plans like steering and working the pedals, Chucky brings up an amulet called the Heart of Damballa, which apparently he had around his neck the night he was gunned down, which he clearly didn't. And this amulet is the only thing that can transfer their souls into human bodies. I think that is total and utter bullshit. First of all, where did this amulet even come from? In the first 3 movies, we see Chucky doing the spell without the amulet, and still, the cloud of thunder was hovering over the places he did it, so obviously he was doing something right. Even though he never actually does it, any viewer can see that Chucky is saying the chants correctly. He didn't need an amulet there, and Tiffany didn't have it to reawaken Chucky in that laughable scene. And what about John, the creator of the dang thing? He never mentioned an amulet to Chucky, and there was never one in the deleted scene that involved John. So if there's one big takeaway from this movie, it's that dang amulet nonsense. And unfortunately, it's the main focal point in the movie because Chucky and Tiffany use 2 lovers, who I don't really care about, to travel to New Jersey and receive the amulet, Heart of Damballa, whatever the fuck. During their trip, people die left and right, and the couple are referred to as Bonnie and Clyde. Their gay friend gets run over, a gravedigger gets shot in the head, Chucky and Tiffany fight with shovels, and I don't even think the amulet fucking worked. Chucky clearly did the chant, but nothing happened. This amulet sucks. But yeah, seeing Chucky kill Tiffany for a second time is a delight. There's only room for 1 doll here. Although, I think they could have come up with a better way to kill Chucky. He delivers a great line saying he always comes back, and he just gets shot and he dies. Oh, come on. He's gotten his head blown off and still wandered about. He survived a machinery? Now a couple bullets and he's out? Blah. The ending... well, holy shit. Tiffany gives birth to another doll, spurts blood all over a sheriff, and the baby leaps at him, and you're sitting there going, what the actual good guy fuck? It leaves on a cliffhanger that wouldn't come for another 6 years, but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, that is Bride of Chucky, a brilliant title to a brilliant installment into the franchise, mainly because of Chucky. I love his look, I love his personality, he loves chocolate chip cookies, as well as spaghetti and meatballs. 2 things that I also adore. Me and Chucky have a lot in common. Well, besides the murdering part. But yeah, this is a favorite of mine. If you just ignore all the nonsense with the amulet and all the scenes not involving Chucky, as well as some continuity confusion, then you're in for a good time. Watching 2 dolls argue in an RV over non-clean dishes, there are some great music cues like Call Me from Blondie and the opening scene with Rob Zombie are all great. Smart move going to comedy, smart move renaming the movie, and smart move making Chucky more lovable and giving him a beautiful bride in what she is now known as the Bride of Chucky. You're a wonderful player, Chucky.
What a crock. Peachy. Hey, Raggedy Ann, you looked in the mirror lately? Now's not the time to get picky. Huh? A true classic never goes out of style.